Good day, everyone.
Everyone.
So, this time
So,
our topic is all about, of course, human resource policies and procedures. No? So, today's workplace are changing, and workplace policies need to reflect the shifts that are occurring. So, addressing the latest trends by updating employee policies and manuals can help set clear boundaries, prevent misunderstanding in the workplace, and ultimate protect your company. So, human resource policies are meant to provide framework for an organizations within which consistent decisions can be made and through which equity in the way people are treated can be promoted. So the implementation of strong human resource policies can help an organization demonstrate both internally and externally that it meets the requirements for diversity, ethics, and training required in today's workplace and meet its commitments regarding regulations and corporate governance of employees. Okay, to give us more details about the topic, let us all welcome our first presenter for today.
Thank you din. I'll be sharing my recorded audio na lang po. Medyo malakas po yung background ng aking neighbor. I'll be adding na lang po on the later part of my presentation some examples. Thank you. Good morning. I'm Ana Lilita and I will be discussing Part 12, HR Policies, Procedures, and Information System. These are the learning outcomes of this chapter. Reason for having HR policies, specific HR policies, implementing HR policies, formulating HR policies, definition of HR procedure, introduction of HRIS, functionality, and reason for using HRIS, and also the features of HRIS. To start with, we have these human resource policies. These are policies that act as general guidelines that help focus organizational actions. These are also formal rules that businesses put in place to manage their employees. HR policies cover a variety of different aspects in human resource management, including recruitment, dress code, overtime compensation, vacation, sick days and personal leave, performance evaluation, and termination. The reasons for having human resource policies are to be able to ensure that any HR issues are dealt with consistency in accordance with the values of organization in line with certain defined principles. It also keeps organization in compliance with legislation and provide protection against employment claims. Formalized HR policies can be used in induction, team leader, and management training to help participants understand the philosophies and values of the organization and how they are expected to behave within the context. It also helps build employee motivation and loyalty. What are the purpose of human resource policies? This includes provision of legal protection to the company. They transparently communicate the conditions of employment, also set employee expectations with regard to their career growth, help address employee grievances and disputes, speed up decision-making process on various HR matters, also help ensure all employees are treated equally and fairly, and also help create a safe and healthy working environment. There are several values expressed in overall HR policies, including equity, which is treating employees fairly and justly by adapting an even-handed approach. This includes protecting individuals from any unfair decisions made by managers, providing equal opportunities for employment and promotion, and operating an equitable payment system. Another is consideration, wherein taking account of individual circumstances when making decisions that affect the prospect, security, or self-respect of employees. In the organizational learning, it is a belief in the need to promote the learning and development of the members of the organization by providing the processes and support required. While in performance through people, it is importance attached in developing a performance culture and to continuous improvement. It means it is a means of defining and agreeing the mutual expectation and the provision of fair feedback to the people on how well they are performing. In quality of working life, it is continually aiming to improve the quality of working life of every employee. This involves increasing the sense of satisfaction people obtain from their work. So, for as possible, reducing monotony, increasing variety, autonomy, and responsibility, avoiding placing people under too much stress, and providing for an acceptable balance between work life outside work. While working conditions is providing healthy, safe, and so far as practicable, pleasant working conditions. These are specific HR policies like policies on agent employment, bullying, discipline, diversity management, policy on email and use of internet, employee development, relations, voice, employment, equal opportunity, grievances, policies for health and safety, new technology, promotion, redundancy, reward, and work-life balance. These are forces of HR policy, including critical thinking, communication, collaboration, and creativity. In formulation of HR policies, there are several ways to take. One is to gain understanding of the corporate culture and its shared values. Then analyze existing policies, both written and unwritten, wherein HR policies will exist in any organization even if they are implicit rather than expressed formally. Then analyze external influences. Also assess any areas where new policies are needed or existing policies are inadequate. Check with managers, preferably starting at top, on their views about HR policies and where they think they could be improved. Seek the views of employees about the HR policies, especially the extent to which they are inherently fair and equitable and are implemented fairly and consistently, and consider doing this through an attitude survey. Seek the views of union representatives also. Analyze the information obtained in the first 7 steps and prepare draft policies. Then consult, discuss, and agree policies with management and union representatives. Then communicate the policies with guidance notes on their implementation as required, and supplement this with communication training. In the implementation of HR policy, the aim is to implement policy fairly and consistently. Line managers have an important role in doing this, as pointed out by Purcell in 2003 and others. There is a need for HR policies to be designed for and focus on frontline managers. It is them who are largely responsible for the policy implementations, while members of HR function can give guidance, but it is the line manager who are on the spot and have to make decisions about people. The role of HR is only to communicate and interpret the policies, convince line managers that they are necessary, and provide training and support that will equip managers to implement them. As Parcel and others in 2003 emphasize, it is line manager who bring HR policies to life. These are the steps to implement effective HR policies. One is to establish an HR department or a governing party. Then determine needs for your employee population. Check all local, national, and industry-related laws and regulations and communicate to your employees. How to write an effective HR policy. Keep this structure and formatting of the HR policy is consistent, while every company has its own internal templates for writing the HR policies. The content is usually quite similar and includes the following element. Of course, the policy name, effective date of policy, include any revision if there's any, name the person responsible for updating the policy and answer questions about it, the purpose of the policy, definition of the terminology, main policy statement, scope and applicability, and to be effective and deliver on the goals mentioned above, the HR policy also needs to be searchable and easily discoverable by employees. Publish the HR policy in the employee handbook or company internet portal and share with the entire team. Human resource procedures. These are step-by-step instructions that specify what action should be taken to comply with HR policies. Defining these policies and procedures is one of the core functions of human resource management, and HR procedures often take the form of SOP or standard operating documents. What are examples of the procedure of human resource? These are the following. Capability procedure, wherein this allows the employer to deal with any concern it may have about the performance of its employee. And an employer is entitled to manage performance provided it does so for a genuine reason. Another is the disciplinary procedure, wherein it sets out the stage through which any disciplinary action should proceed. Disciplinary rules, and the company is responsible for ensuring the up-to-date disciplinary rules wherein it is published and available to all employees. This will set out the circumstances in which an employee could be dismissed for gross industrial misconduct. In the grievance procedure, this procedure spells out the policy on handling grievances and approach to dealing with them, while redundancy procedure aims to meet a statutory, ethical, and practical considerations when dealing with the people process. And this is a situation in which management decides that employees or employee are surplus to requirements in a particular occupation and cannot be offered suitable alternative work. In this illustration, HR policies, procedures, and rules can be answered in this simple question. In policies, it answers the question why we do it, while it is the general guidelines that focus organizational action. In procedures, it is how we do it, or a customary method of handling activities. And in rules, the definition of rules answers the limits on what we do, or the specific guidelines that regulate and restrict the behavior of individuals, all linking to employees' rights. Moving on with Human Resource Information System. An HR Information System, or HRIS, is a computer-based information system for managing the administration of HR processes and procedure. Tannenbaum in 1990 defined this HRIS as any system that helps an organization to acquire, store, manipulate, analyze, retrieve, and distribute information about organizations' human resources. Catley and Riley also defined this as a fully integrated organization-wide network of HR-related data, information, services, tools, and transactions. The reason for introducing HRIS are the following: to improve quality of information available, reduce administrative burden of HR department, improve speed at which information is available, improve flexibility of information to support business planning, improve services to employees, produce HR metrics, aid human capital reporting, improve productivity, reduce operational costs, and manage people's working time more effectively. What are the functions of human resource information system? These functions are the can be performed through an HRIS, including absence recording and management, employee surveys, e-learning, expenses, job evaluation, intranet, manager-employee self-service, online recruitment, payroll administration, pensions and benefits administration, total reward statements, employee records, employee turnover analysis, equal opportunity and modeling, HR planning and forecasting, knowledge management, manage diversity, metrics and human capital reporting, online performance management system and 360-degree feedback, pay reviews, and reward modeling. This is a visual presentation of HRS function or samples of HRIS functions. One of the list is the applicant tracking system or the ATS. This software handles all the company's recruiting needs and track candidates' information and resumes, enable recruiters to match job openings to suitable candidates from the company's application pool, and help in guiding the hiring process. Also in payroll, which automates the pay process of the employee. Benefits administration also is another functionality which is important aspect of compensation and also managed in this system. More advanced systems offer employee self-service model for employee benefits. In this case, employees can select the benefits they are looking for themselves. One may want more paternity leave and the other want more expensive company car. This self-service approach to benefits is also called a cafeteria model. Another is the time and attendance, which gathers time and attendance data from employees. These are especially relevant for shift workers where employees clock in and out. Back in the day, that employees often wrote down their working hours on a piece of paper, and then the manager would manually enter the data in the time tracking system. Based on this data, payment orders were generated and paid to all the employees. Nowadays, workers often check into work by fingerprint or a card that is synced with the HRIS. This gives an exact time for arrival and departure, and issues with the lateness are easily detected. Another is training. Learning and development system. Learning and development is a key element when it comes to employee management. This module allows HR to track qualification, certification, and skills of the employees, as well as an outline of available courses for company employees. This module is often referred to as an LMS or learning management system when it is a standalone. An LMS usually includes available e-learning and other courses to be followed by employees. Another is performance management, which is a key part of managing people. Performance ratings are generated once or multiple times a year by direct manager or peers of the employees. Succession planning is also one. Creating a talent pipeline and having replacement available for key roles in the organization is another key component of an HRIS. Employee service, self-service, which focuses increasingly on having employees and their direct supervisor manage their own data. Requests like holidays can be asked for by employee himself or herself. And after approval, these are then immediately saved into system and registered to track the payroll and benefits purposes. Reporting and analytics. A mature module in HRS system is reporting and analytics. Modern system enable creation of automated HR reports on various topics like employee turnover, absence, performance, and more. Analysis involves the analysis of these insights for better informed decision making. We'll explain more about this section. Features of Human Resource Information System. One is the use of software, and it is customary to buy software for external user. There is a choice between buying what we call system without any upgrades versus the customized one to meet the specified business requirements. Extensive customization can make future upgrades problematic and expensive. So it is important to limit it to what is absolutely necessary. If external suppliers use, the choice should be made as follows. One is to research the HR software market through trade exhibition and other publications. Also review HR processes and existing system. Produce a specification of system requirements. Send an invitation to tender several suppliers. Invite suppliers to demonstrate their products. Obtain references from existing customers, including site visits, and analyze and score the product against the specification. Another feature of HRIS is the integration. Integration of HR system and an IT system with IT system in a wider organization so that they can talk to one another and will aid human capital reporting, comply with supply chain partner requirements, improve profitability, reduce headcount, and deliver against economic criteria. However, many HR functions return standalone system because they believe integration will compromise their own system, potential lack of confidentiality and costs, and perceived risk involved. This is illustration of ERP automation benefits and training. ERP, or the Enterprise Resource Planning, is a process used by the companies to manage and integrate the important parts of their businesses. If ERP software system can also integrate planning, purchasing, inventory, sales, marketing, finance, and human resource, and more. Also, another features of HRS is the internet. It is one where computer terminals are linked so that they can share information within the organization or within part of the organization. It is a computer network for sharing information, easier communication and collaboration tools, operational system, and other computing services within an organization, usually to the exclusion of access by outsider. The term is used in contract of public networks such as internet, but uses most of the same technology based on the internet protocols. Another feature of this HRS is the self-service, which allows managers and employees access to information and facility to interact with the system, to input information or make choices of their own. This can operate through an HR portal. This is sometimes referred to a business to employee or B2E portal. For managers, self-service means that they can access information immediately. This might be HR metrics also, in such area of absenteeism, personal details, performance management data, learning and development progress, and pay. They can also input data on their staff. The facilities, this facilitates also the devolution of responsibility to line managers and reduce the administrative burden of HR. Also, employee can access information, input data about themselves, request training, and apply for jobs online. These are the steps of introducing an HR system. First, have to identify areas to be covered by the system, assess benefits and costs, and make business case. Then consult users and line managers. Prepare a specification. Identify potential software supplier and discuss the need and scope for the customization if there will be any. Select supplier, set up the project, design and test the system, implement system, and then there's the ongoing review and modification. These are the samples of HRS suppliers or vendors: Workday, Cornerstone Staff, and Oracle. Thank you. I'll be adding an example particular to the introduction of HRIS on the part of preparation of specification. This is, I think this is the best example. I just got this from the internet. This is a bidding document of NTC last 2020. in here, this bidding document is issued by the procuring entity, the NTC, for the prospective bidders. So in here, it is indicated the specification are already indicated here. And for those who are planning to avail of the HRS package, they might consider this example. So in this part of the bidding document, they have this specification part wherein the procuring entity, the NTC, indicate all the necessary specification that they've been needing that the prospective bidders should comply. Here, system capabilities are indicated like the solution provider will be the prospective bidders, or the service provider. Must provide a complete HRS software that can deliver the system capability that is defined dito sa document, no? Example of this is that system must be designed so that modules component can be easily and independently deployed. So naka-indicate po dyan lahat and the features that they are requiring. Also here, sa staffing module, management module sample, ito po yung functionalities na nire-require nila, like, sorry for the background noise pa. Organizational management, like upload, view, update, and print organizational chart. Must be able to create, read, update, delete, maintain, and generate list of plantilla, and so on and so forth. So, nilagay na po nila dyan yung mga kailangan ng company. And also here, kasi ang government po masyadong marami din po siyang documents, forms. So, in here, specified po yung pangangailangan nila like facility to create, update, process, delete, and print issuances of all types of action, notices, appointments such as new hire, promotion, transfer, employment, and so on and so forth. Meron din po termination, death, and retirement. So, yun po. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much, Madam. Again, as I mentioned earlier, the human resource policies in the workplace should be a principal objective for a human resource department. It was found that while 84% businesses offer employee handbooks and formal written policies, and 85% required its employees to acknowledge receipt these policies, there are some essential policies not stipulated clearly within the workplace. So let's say, for example, 56% of these small businesses did not have a formal weapons policy in the workplace, and 47% did not have a social media policy. So modern workplaces should not have employee manuals that only cover a handful of the key issues in the workplace. So with the consultancy changing and modernizing the workplace, the human resource policies should be able to reflect the shifts that are occurring. So the importance of keeping current ethical and effective HR policies can be, of course, ensures every employee of an organization is looked after, their needs are respected, and proper benefits are made available to them for their work. It helps to address complaints, problems, and grievances of employees and outline how to solve them appropriately. They help protect employees from the ramifications of colleagues, for poor behavior, and even from the organization itself. So They help to train and develop employees who are consistent with the needs of the organization. It helps employee receive adequate and fair compensation, and it can maintain and discipline in the workplace and provide paid vacations and holidays to eligible employees. So, before establishing human resource policies in your organization, you must first be aware of any regional laws relating to employee policies. Now, some may require employees to communicate workplace information to employees in writing, and in the absence of the specific stipulations such as this one, employers should implement policies that fill in the gaps, such as policy that communicates company expectation and benefits. So, the content of your organization's handbook will depend on a number of factors, including the organization size, location, and industry. And there are several policies that all organizations include in their handbook, some of which are outlined first. However, depending on your business, you may also need to include any number of listed trending company policies and employees in your employee handbook. So, number one, at will employee policy. No, the policy reiterates that both an employer and employee can determine the employment relationship at any time and for any reasons, providing said reasons is lawful. No, you should aim to prominently display this statement in the beginning of your employee handbook. No, so the at-will employee policy, this policy reiterates that both employer and employee can terminate the employment relationship at any time and for any reason. No, providing said reason is lawful, as I mentioned. And you should aim to prominently display this statement in the beginning of your employee handbook. Of course, we need also to include the anti-harassment and non-discrimination policy. So, this policy prohibit harassment and discrimination from taking place in the workplace. No, these are always governed by our government, no, and local provision. So it is important to review the applicable laws and account for all the appropriate protection when stipulating this policy. We have also the sexual harassment policy, no? Especially in the modern workplace, no? Sexual harassment is a high-profile concern. Informing and educating employees through an up-to-date sexual harassment policy is critical. And some regions may even require that your organization have one in place. Safeguard your company by clearly communicating zero tolerance guidelines for unwanted, unwelcome, or inappropriate sexual comments or actions. We have also employment classification policy. No, it is an human resource best practice to clearly define employment classification. This can include full-time, part-time, exempt, or non-exempt. Now, this can dictate their eligibility for benefits and overpay. So it should be a principal policy to clearly stipulate all employees' classifications. Mayroon din naman na leave and time off benefits policy. This policy should address your organization rules and procedures regarding holidays, vacation, sick, and all other types of time off benefits. No? So it should also cover leave required by law, such as voting leave, family leave, and domestic violence leave. Review your regional laws to ensure all leave requirements are included in your human resource policy. Yung ibang company, meron pang meal and break periods policy. Di ba? Merong 12 to 1 break. No? O kaya naman sa government agency, di ba? Non break, di ba? Non time break. So, nangyayari, palitan sila. No? So, a clear policy on meal and break periods ensures employees are well informed on the frequency and duration of said breaks, as well as any additional rules or restrictions relating to them. Again, regional laws may stipulate specifically relating to lactation breaks, rest periods, and meal periods. So ensure your policies align with those. No, we have also timekeeping and pay policy. No, so a timekeeping policy keeps employee informed of the appropriate method for recording their time work. Bisan time card, biometrics, face recognitions, online, and so on. No? Policies on pay periods communicates the frequency of paydays to employees, the methods available for receiving payment, and any special procedures that may take place should a payday fall on holiday or then when employee is absent from work. Kasi kung ang payroll hindi siya naka-ATM, then let's say 25, ang sweldo let's say is 5 and 25, then February 25 is holiday. So dapat aware ang yung staff or employee na 24 salary na. Let's say may mga company tumapat halimbawa ng Sabado, Monday to Friday lang yung pasok. So paano yung ganung procedures? Dapat alam yun ng employee mo. Let's say Monday, may mga company na nag-release ng pera pag Monday. I don't know the reason behind, no? So paano gagawin? Magpapasahod ba ng Friday noon or Tuesday? So kailangan aware ang mga empleyado. Then cut off, mahalaga yon. Let's say, meron kasing company 525. Tama ba? 525. O 1025. Basta every 15, no? Meron namang company na every month ang sahod, no? Meron namang company na every week. So kailangan alam ng empleyado niyo 'yon. Another thing is safety and health policy. No? This policy describes the safety and emergency procedures of the workplace and of course review or require employees to report any work-related injuries immediately. So there are several regulations under the Occupational Health and Safety Act that requires employers to have this specific policy in place if certain workplace hazard exists. So for example, if certain chemicals are present in the workplace, a company should have a hazard communication programs as part of the health and safety policy. And of course, the employee conduct, attendance, and punctuality policy. Attendance policy, clearly communicate when employees must be ready to work. No? Stipulating the schedule, start time each day, and providing procedures of informing their supervisors or unscheduled absences or later arrivals. Kasi ang laki talaga ng effect kapag hindi kayo pumasok on time, no? Talagang sobrang hirap, no? Ngayon, di ba, yung trend ngayon sa policies, no, sa human resource policies, weapons is the workplace policy. No, yung zero tolerance for workplace violence. Meron tayong remote workers policy, no? Many modern workplaces are allowing more and more of their employees to work remotely or home, especially this time of pandemic, no? Or some other location outside the main office. However, not all jobs and employees are well suited for remote work. So, it is important to clarify your organization's position on remote work itself. Meron pa tayong BYOD, no, yung bring your own device policy, no, meron tayong ganyan. And again, as I mentioned earlier, no, especially today, social media policy is very important. No? So, a social media policy can be what protects your company's reputations both online and beyond. So, despite its relatively modern nature, you should still draft this policy to withstand scrutiny from your regional labor relations board. No? So, you need to address the questions that do you need a policy for both business and personal social media use? What guidelines need to be established? How will you control social media use at work? So, your social media policy should also list the specific confidential information that should never be shared on social media and explain the disciplinary measures for social media policy variation. Meron din siyempre na drug and alcohol policy, no? Updated confidentiality policy is also important, no? Broadened policy that require employees to keep all information confidential are no longer effective due to the changing nature of how information gets shared. It is important to be specific in your confidentiality policies, including any items that a labor board may not deem private, such as wages and working conditions. Nagiging problema yan no, yung salary dapat confidential yun pero alam mo yung dali mo nang ginagawa niya pero malaki salary niya sa akin. Yung mga ganon, may iwasan natin yun kung meron tayong strict no confidentiality policy. So yun. a social media policy can be what protects your company's reputation. So despite its relative modern nature, as I mentioned, you should still draft this policy to withstand scrutiny from your regional labor relations board. No, it should also list the specific confidential information that should never be shared on your social media and explain disciplinary measure for the deviation. No? So just like societies need laws to establish order and common understanding, all businesses need strong and effective human resource policies, no? Regardless of your company's location or industry. Human resource issues will inevitably arise and require you to dispel time and energy away from other business activities in order to address them. No? Having a strong set of human resource policy and procedures in place can help alleviate this load. No, systematically setting expectation for performance and growth in curving a pattern of disciplinary measures and operational guidelines to keep employees to track towards success. So I think that's it for this topic. And